Hey guys, this is Sean coming again from Coast to Coast Cooking. Today I'm going to show you guys how to do some jarring and how to save your garden throughout the whole entire year. You keep freshness to your vegetables and it's just amazing. So, stay tuned.
Coast to Coast Cooking.
With today's vegetables on the rise of price, and healthiness is also a big factor as well. You want to kind of preserve what you have from your garden. This is the best way to do it. Do a little bit of canning. It's so nice to keep your fresh fruits and vegetables throughout the whole entire year. It really is truly nice. So what we're going to do here is we have a few of our tomatoes, and a lot of people, they like to do the whole V cut. You know, they'll cut a V to get the core out, and I'm not really a huge fan of that, but yeah, I don't know, I guess it works for them. What I like to do is I just like to take the whole top of the tomato right off. That's what I like to do here. There we go. Now, you're going to do a few of these in a row. No, we don't want to use that knife. That knife will come into play later. Now I'm going to show you guys how to constantly keep it going over here, because a lot of people say a cannon takes a lot of time. They say that it's, you know, it takes forever and you got to have patience for it, and you know, really, honestly, it's not that bad, especially if you own a pressure cooker. I own a pressure cooker, so I'll show you guys how I do it, how simple it really is. So, now we have our few tomatoes over here cut. Let's take you over to the stove and show you what's happening here. Okay, over here at the stove, what we have going on is we're going to put our tomatoes right into some boiling water. And the reason for that is because we're going to skin them. So, right into the boiling water we go there. Alright, now we're going to leave that in there just until the skin itself starts to peel off or starts to crack. That's when you know that you're good to go. We're going to turn this up on high. This right here is our jars, which I have a few of them already that are cleaned up and disinfected. But I'll just use medium-sized bowl jars today. And I'll show you a nice little recipe or different recipes that we can use to preserve our garden. So we're going to let that come to a nice boil. And we're going to wait for this over here till the skin is just starting to peel off and crack. Like this one right here looks like it's just about ready. So, we're going to let this sit for, I don't know, another 30-40 seconds or so. We'll show you our next step here. Okay, our next step over here is we need to peel our tomatoes now. So, sorry. So one thing that we're going to do is we're going to throw this on the side. This is going to be our compost. That way we can return that back into our garden. And what you want to do is you want to put this in ice cold water. As you can see, I have my ice tray over here, but that ice ended up melting. So you're just going to grab the skin and you're just going to peel it off. Usually it comes right off real easily, so see that? Yeah. Nice peeled tomato. There's another one. Just grab the skin and peel right off. Now what I like to do as well is I like to take the skin afterwards and I put it in a bucket, and that bucket of course goes back out to the garden for compost. It's kind of like the awesome little circle of life that we have. Okay. I have really cold water here because I have a natural well. So this right here is just, might as well be ice water itself. Now, as you can see here, you want to go till your tomato skins just pretty much start to crack or peel off on their own. You put it right in that water, and that shocks it. That shocks it. It also cools down the tomato, so it's easier to handle as well. Pot of water over here. We need a little bit more water in that, but before we do that, why don't we take our jars out? Now, I don't have a really big canner like a lot of other people do. Honestly, this is my my first time canning. Well, this is not my first time canning, obviously, but you know, this is my first year of canning. So I didn't go out and spend a whole bunch of money on a magnet and everything else that can pull the leads up. So we're just going to use a fork and a knife, and this is like playing the there we go. This is like playing the claw machine at the arcade. Okay, let those tomatoes over there boil. I'm going to put a little bit of water in that because we have more tomatoes. Okay, now what I like to do here, drain our tomatoes down a little bit. What I like to do here is I like to take our bowl jar. Do not put your hand in it. Make sure your hands are clean. That is seriously an important thing. What I like to do is I like to put about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice or citric acid, about a scoop and a half of garlic. And what I'm going to show you here is a little trick that I really haven't seen too many people doing on YouTube, but I'm going to do it. We also have some, obviously, our pepper there. But, okay, so what I like to do is cut it up into sections. Alright, the first couple ones I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave them in quarters, because I already have a whole bunch of nice big ones right now, so why not make a few more? I said just chop it up in the quarters here. Put it right in your jar. Okay, we're looking really full, so we're just going to take a little bit of it out. We want to leave about, let's say, they say about 1/2 inch of headroom, as they call it. And you also want to make sure that you can get out as many bubbles as you can, and mix it up as well. Make sure all the air pockets are out. Make sure your liquid inside gets mixed up pretty well. Okay. There. After everything's pretty much compact, you may have to just clear out just a little bit. Now, like I said, they say about 1/2 inch of headroom between your lid and your contents, but honestly, I'm gonna go just a little bit shorter on that. I'm gonna set that over there, and we're gonna do another one. The next one we're gonna do we're just going to let that sit for a second. But the next one that we're going to do here is we're going to make one. We're going to cut it into eighths. Okay, 8 little sections there. Yeah, I also want to add, don't forget, shot of lemon juice. Now, this one is not going to be anything and about a half of a teaspoon of salt. This one's not going to be used for like a salsa, or this one's not going to be used for like a tomato sauce or anything like that. So we have our tomatoes that are already cut up into eighths. This one jar right here, we'll just use that one for, I don't know, let's say a venison stew, or we can use it for, just about anything. I mean, you're cutting up tomatoes and you're preserving them. There's like a million things. See this one right here? We're just gonna throw the whole guy right in there. Why not? I mean, we're pretty much just preserving our garden for the whole year. And whatever you can do with your tomatoes the whole year, I mean, that's great. That's awesome. So like I said, I'm gonna cut these ones up into eighths. Instead of the quarters. Fit that one more piece in there. Okay. Now, like I said, this one right here is just salt and lemon juice. That's perfect. And like I said, work out the air pockets from the bottom. And you have that nice headspace that you're seeking. What I do is I get the spoon towards the bottom, and I just kind of push towards the sides. There. We're perfect on that. Let's move on to our next one. Let's do a pepper. Why not? What the heck, right? You know what? I actually like the seeds, so I'm going to keep the seeds going in there as well. Give her the old chopperooey. Grab a jar. About 2 tablespoons of that. Of course, garlic. 1.5 of that. And we're just going to slice and dice our pepper over here. See, I cut my pepper into quarters. And I cut up into eighths. And just give it a little chop. Usually about 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch will be just fine for this. Make a little salsa action. And trust me, it won't last long, so preserving this is not going to really happen. Okay, why don't we grab an onion? This is an onion from our garden as well. Some onion chives. We'll save those for later. We'll probably freeze those. My mom is like huge into freezing, so I'll let her deal with that. these onions are crazy spicy because they are fresh. There, look at that. That is a pretty freaking onion. I don't know where my cutting board is. Oh, here's a dish. We'll use a dish. What the heck, why not, right? Okay. I'm going to do a half an onion on this one. And one of those little peppers. Add a dab of hot sauce here. A little bit of heat. So far we have our lemon juice, our garlic, our pepper, our onion, a little bit of Frank's Red Hot Original. Do another one. Why not? Now because we're making like a salsa, we're going to cut our tomatoes up just a little bit smaller on this one. We're pretty much just going to get in there with a knife, cup your hand, and just start chopping away. I mean, it's a salsa. Make sure not to cut your hand while you're doing this. Don't need anything in the comments saying, oh, I chopped my hand up because of the way that you showed me. Well, you're an adult. Do it yourself. Use your brain. Like I said, I'm just going to cut this up small. Oops, drop the piece. Put that right in there. We'll go one more, or at least a half. Okay. Oops. A little mess on our side over there. After this is done cooking, everything will shrink inside of it, so you'll be able to mix it up a little bit better. See your onions starting to come up. And of course everything does get softer as well. We're making a mess over here. Okay, we can go a little bit more. And you know what the cool thing about this all? is that it's from the garden. That's the best part. Is that it's ours. Came off of our property. Straight, real deal Adirondacks. Vegetables, you know. Pepper, onion, tomato. Whoops. Get that piece of onion back in there. Get in there, guy. There you go. You want to make sure to leave yourself a little bit of headroom. Okay. So far we have a salsa right here. We have a tomato and garlic right here. And we have a good cooking one over here, just tomato. We have 2 more jars left and a few more tomatoes, so I'm going to keep it going. This one. I'm going to do a little bit of lemon juice. A little bit of salt on that one. And run your tomatoes. In fact, just for extra flavor, I think I'm going to add an onion on it. That's the really cool part about canning. Is that you could pretty much do just about like whatever you want. And it's okay. Just going to add an onion right whole. That chunk right there. Why not? Our headspace there is perfect. So, I only did 5 jars here. And I'm going to show you our next step that we have to do before we put the lids on them. And pick up our mess a little bit here. This right here, this is a midnight snack. That's what that's called, midnight snacking. Okay guys, so this next part over here is really important. Make sure you grab yourself a little bit of distilled white straight up vinegar. We're going to pour that vinegar into a dish. I didn't have much in this one. I'm Italian, I have gallons of this stuff, trust me. So we have just a little bit right here in the dish for ourselves. What you want to do, you want to take a little paper towel. You want to dip that paper towel inside the dish. Take your jar. You're going to want to clean up this rim. Now you do this for 2 reasons. Number one is you're going to feel if you have any burrs or any chips or anything like that. But you really want to make sure that your rim is good and clean. So that's why you use the white vinegar. Cleaned it up really well. So next, we are going to take our lid. Believe it or not, if you have ADD, I like to line up the word ball with the word ball on the jar. Wow. It's an ADD thing, I guess. Take your top, take your lid, set it on there. I like to dry off the... Here's my little tip that I've noticed a lot of people not doing. I like to dry off the top of my lid to prevent rust later on in the future. So if you do decide to reuse your cans or your jars, you can reuse them without having to worry about any rust or contaminants. Next, take your ring, screw it on. You want to screw it on just so it just stops, and give it a little hand tight. That's it. Don't go crazy about it. Okay. So we're going to do that to all of our jars. Clean off the rims. Do it to every one of them. Dry them off. Nicey nice. Okay. Take your lid. Put your lid on it. Make sure the top part of your lid is nice and dry. Because like I said, that's rust prevention, man. Let me grab another paper towel. There's that ADD part coming in. So this here is the Pressure Cooker XL. This is probably the best-selling pressure cooker that is in the country right now. I believe so. The 6-quart pressure cooker. It works really well. It's super easy to use, and let me show you how to go about that. Really simple whenever it comes to jarring or canning. With the pressure cooker, you hit that button, time to adjust. I like to go 20 minutes on these. That's it. See, there it goes. That's it. You want to fill up your pressure cooker about a quarter of the way to half the way up with your jars are going to be. Also, what I have in here as well, I have this little stand I can put our jars on, and we're just going to load them in. Look at that. Holds 5 of those babies just perfectly. It's just such a thing of beauty, isn't it? Alright, now, next we're going to take our lid here. You gotta line it all up so it falls into place. Lock it. That's it. Make sure that up here on the top, your little pressure valve, make sure that that is on. Let's stick you up here to see that. Make sure that that is on close and not steam. If it's on steam, then you gotta start it all over again, and it's a whole big mess and everything else. So this over here should be done probably within, I would say, about a half an hour or so. This will be done. Now, through the miracle of video editing and technology, our time is up. Our beeper went off. Time to release our pressure steam. That simmer down. We're going to let our jars cool down, and then after that, pretty much you're just going to pick them up and take them out. Now that that's settled down pretty well, we're going to open this, but we're not going to remove our cans just yet, our jars. Yeah, it's going to be making all sorts of weird noises. We're not going to remove our jars here just yet because it's kind of cool in my house right now. And if we pick up the jars and we move them out, then you run the risk of them exploding because of the temperature difference. Okay guys, well, it's been about 20 minutes or so of just letting it cool down. Now I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them over on my towel. Let them sit there for a little bit. Throughout the day you may hear them going pop, 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 pop. What that is just the all that is just the tops that you'll hear sealing down, and I'll show you. It's gonna do a little concave type of a top here. Want to make sure to push down on it. Okay, make sure that you don't hear that You know, when you push down on it, no movement at all, means that you got yourself a good seal. So, you take them out, set them on our towel, let them rest up, let them cool down a little bit. That's the stuff. Well, boys and girls, really that's it. There's really not a whole lot to can in tomatoes, but your finished outcome is great. And the thing that I love about it is, like I said before, it's from the garden. It's from nature. It's from your own two hands that created something from a seed. Something that you're going to feed your family with throughout the whole entire year, which is just awesome. It's just crazy awesome. And it may not, to a lot of people, it may not be a big deal, but to others, it is a really huge deal to actually have the ability to feed your family from something that you created with your own two hands. So now that we have our jars of tomatoes, we're going to be doing a lot of canning. Right about now is almost the time where it's a good time to start harvesting from the garden as well. Once everything starts getting harvested, we can make pickles. We're going to maybe even possibly can some corn, definitely canning our tomatoes. We have beets. It's just, I mean, you guys can see it in our other video as well, our New York garden. It's just phenomenal. So, with that all being said, I hope that somebody learned something here. Give yourself about 24 hours or so, just to really make sure that your cans are set. Throughout the day, you may hear a little pop, pop, pop. That's just the can itself just settling itself in. Another thing you want to make sure of, let's grab a can here that's not crazy hot. You really want to make sure that you don't have that popping noise. You know what, let me go grab a can real quick and show you what popping noise that I'm talking about. This is the pretty much the packaging that I get my jars from, at least. You get them from like a hardware store or Lowe's, Home Depot, cooking stores. Well, cooking stores, I mean like supermarkets or Walmart, whatever. So this is the popping noise that I'm gonna demonstrate to you guys here. Hear that? You hear that noise, and it keeps going back and forth, then that means that you didn't get yourself a good seal. Okay? So, make sure that your cans are sealed correctly. Like I said, you want to avoid getting yourself sick, getting your family sick, or like a friend or whoever may come over your house or whatever. So, anyways, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but that's pretty much Canning 101. It's very simple, very easy, fun. It's really effective, and hopefully you guys can learn something from here. So, alright, so anyways, I am Sean from Coast to Coast Cooking. If you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, share, favorite, like, everything, all that jazz. So, alright guys, I am out, and I am going to bed. It is 6:30 in the morning. I've been up all night working, so yeah. Peace.